It was the 5th of Iyar, May 14th, 1948, Tel Aviv. On a small platform stands a determined Zionist leader, reading before a hurriedly congregated crowd a declaration that would come to change the course of history. That is the birth of the State of Israel. But the story begins 4,000 years before this point, when God told Abraham, "To your descendants I will give this land." Years passed, and the descendants of Abraham are standing in the desert, about to enter the land. Just before they do, God promises them, "If, then, you obey the commandments that I enjoin upon you this day, you and your children may endure in the land that the Lord swore to your fathers to assign to them. But if they don't keep the covenant between them and God, the Lord will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth to the other." 400 years later, during the last days of the first temple, the people of Israel had strayed far from their God and their covenant. For hundreds of years, there was idol worshiping, political corruption, and a fast-paced deterioration of morals in Israel. These are the days of the prophets of Israel. They speak out and call against the sinners, beg the people to repent and to come back to God. But while they threaten the people with destruction, exile, and desolation, they also had another message, a message of building, of fixing. There will come a day where Israel will flourish. The people will gather around their land and become close to their God once more. Days of peace and prosperity. But many did not hear, many could not believe. In their hearts, the people kept coming back to these consoling words of the prophets, praying, hoping, and believing that these days were coming. That hope, that cherished dream kept by the people of Israel, enabled them to survive the long years of exile. This is what Jeremiah the prophet said 2,664 years ago. "I will restore your fortunes, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places to which I have banished you, declares the Lord. And I will bring you back to the place from which I have exiled you." And Zechariah added to this, "Yerushalayim shall be peopled as a city without walls, so many shall be the men. And in the city, thus said the Lord of hosts, there shall yet be old men and women in the squares of Yerushalayim, each with staff in hand because of their great age. And the squares of the city shall be crowded with boys and girls playing in the squares." When these people come to Yerushalayim to live and play, how will they be protected? "On your walls, O Jerusalem, I have appointed watchmen. All day and all night they shall never be silent. Those who remind the Lord, be not silent. Not only Jerusalem will be populated, for you shall spread out to the right and the left. Your offspring shall dispossess nations and shall people the desolate town." And not only in the physical aspect, Jerusalem will become a center of Torah learning, wisdom, and justice, as Isaiah prophesied. "And the many people shall go and say, 'Come, let us go up to the mount of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may instruct us in his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For instruction shall come forth from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.'" Israel will be plentiful in riches and wealth. Agriculture will be successful, and the markets will be thriving, as Ezekiel saw so many years ago. "But you, O mountains of Israel, shall yield your produce and bear your fruit for my people Israel, for their return is near. I will turn to you, and you shall be tilled and sown. I will settle a large population on you, the whole house of Israel. The towns shall be resettled, and the ruined sites rebuilt. I will multiply men and beasts upon you, and they shall increase and be fertile. And I will resettle you as you were formerly, and will make you more prosperous than you were at first. And you shall know that I am the Lord." It is astounding to see how many of these prophecies have come true. There are still a few more that have not yet been fulfilled, and that is where our prayers and actions turn to. To watch this story unfold before our eyes is truly uplifting and is an absolute privilege. To see the fulfillment of the old prophecies is another reminder of a truly unique time in the history of our people.